As you can see, we got the head there. And all the corresponding parts we're gonna need. So here's the deal. Pistons finally got here today. Yeah, that's what I got. We're gonna pop them in. Go ahead and gap the rings. Hopefully these rings, now VHB Engines did a video in which he was saying that a lot of people were getting these rings here and they were coming up, the second rings were coming up way too pre-gapped already, up to like 30 thousandths, 35 thousandths. And I don't know if I mentioned that when I built this originally with those, but those were at like 30. And I didn't gap them any further. I was like, shit, that's plenty gapped. But one of the things I did want to do this time around, I don't know if you can notice, the pistons are smooth. Lock. Hold on, bud. The pistons are smooth and all down there. And I got a decent crosshatch going when I first did it, but I did it with the this is what I used to hone it the first time, and it seemed to work, but it didn't come out the way I wanted to. Maybe I just didn't give her enough ooga oogas with the drill with this, because I don't know. It had a slight crosshatch. It was all right. It obviously worked for a while, but I went ahead and spent a little bit of money and got the 240 grit with silicone carbide, I believe. If you want to see, that's the model number you're going to do for the 75 millimeter. This is about middle of the road grit. You can go 180, 240, or 320. I did a thing on D series asking everybody that uses these what grit they were, and it was all over the board, but this was the middle of the road consensus is use this. And they'll tell you to do 1030 oil while you're doing it. So, no biggie. We're going to give that a nice little hone, knock some of that glaze off, and get her nice and shiny down there again. I'm going to have to do something to cover up them journals down there on the crank. I'll come up under there and do that. And then gap the rings, put the pistons together. Make sure the arrow's facing this way, like I did last time. Somebody mentioned they thought the arrows were facing towards the timing belt, but no, I'm facing this way. So, alright, so we got the new pistons installed on the rods. These are the non-Teflon coated ones, 75 mil. Got all my new rings on, gapped. I think I went 20 thou for the top ring and 24 for the secondary ring. I also went ahead and changed over these bearings. I had an extra set of King bearings. These ones just they weren't showing any with a copper or bronze coloring yet, but I just didn't think that it'd be wise just to go ahead and throw them back in the way they were, so I decided, you know what, I got an extra set of, almost looks like there's some bronze coloring right there, but anyways, got some new ones in here. Don't have to worry about that. So whatever blew out the those are the old main bearings. Whatever blew out the intake side of the pistons, too much timing or whatever. And I got a mess in here right now. Whatever did all this mess. And I suppose I could have just shown you the piston I was using to shove them down in the boards. But I tell you what, that flex hone works a lot better than the one I used last time. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we'll see. Kind of tired here. So yeah, new pistons, new bearings, new piston rings. And yeah, we'll be ready to throw these in the engine and get going. So, I was having the biggest noob engine building problem. As you already know, here we're putting new Vitara pistons in, same rods, I am switching from the ACL bearings that only had a couple hundred miles to these new King ones. The problem was is every time I would tighten up, and I was using tons of this. Every time I would even tighten up, even 20 to 25 pounds, foot-pounds, those rods onto the frickin' crankshaft, the crankshaft would freeze. It would just be extremely difficult to even try to turn it. Well, for those of you who do know, you don't have to worry about this because you already know, but I'm going to tell the new guys out here, rods and rod caps, I learned something new today. Rods and rod caps are machined when they're put together, so the bore is in round when the cap is put on. In other words, you can't interchange the caps. Now, if you notice, these P2P rods have a little number right here. Right there, 703 or 0703. This one's a little beat up, and the only way I was able to match this one up is because I had the same like discoloration on it. Otherwise, this one is 0701, 0701. Now, I just tightened this one up down here, and it, you know, it used to be like you'd take both hands and take a breaker bar to crank it, it wouldn't budge. It was probably a good thing I wasn't budging, because who knows what the hell I would have done to the crankshaft journals down there, right? But yeah, now this one's tightened to 50 pounds, and this was the first one. Didn't matter which one you had on there. I must have had them all swapped around. This one now, smooth as butter. Like, I mean, stupid smooth. Like it's supposed to be, like when I first built this thing. I must have been just paying attention before, but I mean, just nice and easy. Just one little finger, super smooth and easy, like it's supposed to be. So to give you that little tip, match your numbers. Now on the factory rods here, same thing. If you took them apart, you'll see that little 3 right there, and a little 2 right there, right there. See that number 3 right there? So yeah, pretty damn exciting, because boy, I was getting stressed out. So throw a video up like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. I got brand new bearings in there. It's spec, they're standard bearings, wasn't oversized or nothing. And yep, little Google search, can't mix up rod caps. I found somebody saying that, and I was like, that seems silly, until they explained it, and I was like, wow, wouldn't that be a bitch if that's all it was? I just mixed up the rod caps. So let's go ahead and throw the rest in, see what we're doing, and maybe get this thing running tonight. Man, I wish I would have shot video before, when you grab both hands, doing it, and get over there and you just give her all you got. She wouldn't budge it. Now it's like, look at all 4. Look at that.
Yeah, it is smooth as butter.
Yeah, she's good now.
I can do it with my pinky.
So, moral of the story, keep all your caps together with the right rods. Alright, we got all 4 in. And oil pan is back installed. Got her all gooped up with some gasket maker. Reused the old rubber gasket as well, so we won't have any leaks. And yeah, we'll start throwing the head on there. Maybe I'll call it a night for tonight, but maybe not. This has been long overdue. Let's do it.